Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Rubino. I'm a councilman here in the city of Summit, as well as president of the Summit Parkline Foundation. Behind me, you can see the beautiful view of New York and Manhattan, and I'm not the first to enjoy this view. As a matter of fact, about 240 years ago, somebody much more important noticed it, and that's General George Washington, our first president. He came to the summit of the Short Hills, which is why Summit is named Summit, and he saw that he can see the British in New York and in Staten Island well from this vantage point. So he decided to create a beacon here to warn him in Morristown if the British ever came for him. And Summit's insignia is that very flame of the beacon. After the revolution, there was a different kind of revolution that came about 50 plus years later, which is the Industrial Revolution and the advent of the rail system. And as the rail traffic continued, folks realized that the southern part of Union County could use a commuter system as well. So they established this, what we call the Raritan Valley line from New Orange, which is now known as Kenilworth, and it came right up here to Summit. So lots of folks in Union County, which is largely a rural setting, would use that line to get themselves to different points throughout Union County, as well as Summit, picnic groves in the area, and Baltusrol, which is a storied, famous golf course just south of here. It was a busy commuter line till about the 1920s, when the automobile started to take hold. The commuters traveled less and less, and it became more of an industrial freight line. Another significant historical point about it, though, it was the backdrop for Hollywood for a brief time. Hollywood movie makers would come here to film their silent movie westerns, and that was a popular business trade for local vendors until they had an unfortunate accident with some of the chemicals used to develop the movie film, and it blew up the windows in the Kenilworth train station. And that ended our short history as a movie center. As the 20th century moved on, the trucking system became more important to move freight, and this freight line became less important. But it was in existence until the 1970s. But as the 80s came upon us, they officially closed the railway, and it became the property of the state of New Jersey. But now, as we start our new chapter in history, the state of New Jersey has granted the city of Summit the rights to develop this land into a linear park similar to the New York City High Line. We call it the Summit Park Line. The Boy Scouts created this path, which will be landscaped and beautified as part of the project for the Summit Park Line. But you can imagine how convenient it was for somebody who lived in southern Union County who wanted to get up to a hub city such as Summit, that they can simply jump on the train, come up this way with beautiful views of a valley. This was much less developed then, much more of a rural type of setting, looking over to the Watchung Hills, and way in the distance the very small beginning skyline of Manhattan. This part of the railway, there was some trouble in the 1960s when a fuel car became unhooked and actually went off the bridge that used to go over Broad Street, which is about 100 yards forward to where I'm standing. Fortunately, the emergency vehicles that responded were able to get the fuel car safely off the track without any fire or damage, although it did provide a spectacle for all the folks in Summit for quite a while.
Hello, I'm Jay Brinkerhoff, one of the members of the Summit Parkline Foundation. I'm standing here today at the end of phase one of the Summit Parkline. One of the elements of this project includes the rebuilding of a pedestrian bridge over Morris Avenue. But until that is done, we have created a temporary trail which runs up in this direction past Overlook Hospital. And that's important because it will allow safe access across Morris Avenue before the bridge is built, so that a walker or a biker could continue on the path through and to Hidden Valley Park and ultimately to Bryant Park, which is the second and third phases of the project. You can see to my right sections of the original rail. We've chosen to keep that in place because as people, and children in particular, have an opportunity to walk the park line, this will be an interesting reminder of the importance of the development of rail lines in Union County and Summit in particular in the early parts of last century. Take a look behind me and you can see the first paved portion of the Summit Park line. The last time we spoke, we had merely a pile of rocks here that we spread, but thanks to the help of the Boy Scouts and many others, we've now paved this first portion. And this is a great representation of what the entire park line is going to be as we work through it next spring and next summer.
So what we hope to achieve with our new history, the Summit Park line, is a linear park, a connection, a ribbon of green that connects the city's downtown to some of the significant institutions in town, as well as provide a little park-like setting for kids, maybe a rock climbing wall, or a path where folks can walk from here all the way down across Morris Avenue into Hidden Valley Park, and ultimately Bryant Park, which is an Olmsted Park, and along the way past some of our other significant institutions. So we really hope to engage the community to be healthy, walking more, riding their bikes more, and maybe using their cars a little less, and also just enjoying the last 1% of greenery we have here in Summit that right now isn't utilized, but we're going to make it a lot better so that parents, grandparents, kids can walk safely to the downtown or from the downtown through the eastern part of Summit into the lovely Bryant Park.